A network of stone-cobbled highways once stretched across continents, letting strangers trade goods before empires even existed, and number 1 is a route almost no one knows. Amber Route, a glittering corridor that carried Baltic amber southward to the Mediterranean, shaping economies as early as the Bronze Age. Merchants trekked through dense forests and river valleys, exchanging the golden resin for copper, tin, and luxury goods. Archaeologists have uncovered amber beads in Mycenaean graves, confirming the route's reach across modern Germany, France, and Italy. While exact pathways remain debated, satellite imagery and ancient road remnants suggest a network of well-maintained tracks linking the Baltic coast to the Adriatic. The route's influence persisted for centuries, inspiring later Roman roads and medieval trade lanes. Its legacy reminds us that even before written contracts, a simple natural material could bind distant cultures together.
Surprisingly, the Indus-Mesopotamia trade path connected the Harappan cities of the Indus Valley with the riverine kingdoms of Mesopotamia long before the Age of Empires. Boats navigated the Indus River to its delta, then coastal vessels hugged the Arabian Sea, stopping at ports like Lothal and Dilmun. From there, traders exchanged carnelian beads, cotton textiles, and sophisticated metallurgy for silver, dates, and barley. Clay tablets from Ur describe shipments arriving from the land of the rivers, which researchers link to the Indus region. Although precise sea routes are still under study, underwater sonar scans have identified ancient harbors that match the timeline. This exchange not only moved goods but also ideas, influencing urban planning and writing systems across both civilizations.
Ancient Egyptian Red Sea Corridor, a desert-to-sea artery that enabled Egypt to reach the African interior and the Arabian Peninsula. From Thebes, caravans marched eastward across the eastern desert, stopping at oasis towns like El Dakhla, before reaching the Red Sea ports of Berenice and Myos Hormuz. Here, ships loaded frankincense, myrrh, and exotic ivory, then sailed to the Arabian coast and beyond. Egyptian records mention expeditions led by pharaohs such as Hatshepsut, who commissioned a famous expedition to the land of Punt via this route. While the exact location of Punt remains debated, the corridor's infrastructure, well-marked waypoints and water reservoirs suggests a sophisticated logistical system. Scholars believe the corridor facilitated cultural exchange, introducing African art motifs into Egyptian tombs and spreading Egyptian architectural ideas northward.
Mesoamerican Sacbeob, stone-paved causeways that linked Maya city-states across the dense jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula. These white lime-washed roads stretched for miles, connecting ceremonial centers like Chichen Itza, Tikal, and Koba. Built with limestone and compacted earth, the Sacbeob facilitated the movement of priests, traders, and armies, allowing the rapid dissemination of religious iconography and elite goods such as jade, cacao, and obsidian. Recent LiDAR surveys have revealed previously hidden Sacbe networks spanning over 200 kilometers, suggesting a level of regional integration previously unimagined. While some scholars argue they served primarily ritual purposes, the sheer scale and maintenance imply a practical transportation function as well. The Sacbeob stand as a testament to how pre-colonial societies engineered infrastructure to overcome challenging terrain without modern technology.
Inca Qhapaq Ñan, an astonishing network of mountain roads that knotted together the sprawling Inca Empire across the Andes. Stretching over 30,000 kilometers, the system featured stone-paved sections, suspension bridges, and stairways hewn into sheer cliffs. Llamas carried textiles, maize, and metalwork along the route, while royal messengers known as chasquis ran the relay stations, delivering messages in hours across vast distances. Archaeologists have mapped the road's continuity from present-day Colombia down to Chile, noting sophisticated engineering such as drainage channels that prevented erosion. Though the Spanish dismantled many segments, the surviving sections reveal a unified strategy to integrate diverse ecological zones, ensuring political cohesion and economic exchange. The Qhapaq Ñan illustrates how a pre-industrial society could achieve continental connectivity through sheer ingenuity.
Trans-Saharan caravan tracks, vast desert pathways that linked the Mediterranean world with sub-Saharan kingdoms for millennia. Camel caravans braved the Sahara's shifting dunes, stopping at oasis towns like Timbuktu, Gao, and Caravan to rest and trade. Goods such as gold, salt, ivory, and slaves moved northward, while textiles, glassware, and horses traveled south. Historical accounts from Arab geographers describe the routes as the spine of the desert, emphasizing their importance for cultural diffusion, including the spread of Islam and Arabic script. Modern satellite imagery has identified ancient trackways etched into the landscape, confirming oral histories. While the exact route shifted with climate and political changes, the network's resilience underscores humanity's ability to transform even the harshest environments into arteries of commerce.
Coastal Maritime Trail, an ancient seafaring highway hugging the western Mediterranean and Atlantic coasts, enabling early societies to bypass treacherous inland routes. From the Phoenician ports of Tyre and Carthage, sleek galleys sailed to the Iberian Peninsula, the British Isles, and the Atlantic Islands, exchanging purple dye, tin, and pottery. Archaeological finds of Phoenician amphorae in British burial sites suggest voyages as early as 1200 BCE. The trail relied on natural harbors, wind patterns, and rudimentary maps etched on clay tablets. Though exact navigational techniques remain partially speculative, experimental archaeology with reconstructed vessels demonstrates the feasibility of long-distance coastal travel without modern instruments. This maritime corridor fostered early globalization, spreading technological innovations like iron smelting and writing systems across Europe and North Africa.
Natufian Levantine Trail, a prehistoric footpath that linked hunter-gatherer communities across the Fertile Crescent during the Epipaleolithic era. Evidence from stone tools and hearths found at sites such as Jericho, Ain Mawlahar, and Wadi Hamma suggest seasonal migrations following wild cereals and gazelle herds. Researchers believe the trail followed river valleys like the Jordan and the Litani, providing reliable water sources. While the trail predates formal roads, its repeated use created informal corridors that later Neolithic societies expanded into agrarian routes. Some scholars argue the trail facilitated early exchange of plant domestication knowledge, accelerating the agricultural revolution. The subtle imprint of this path illustrates how even the earliest humans organized movement across landscapes to secure resources.
Rift Valley Route, an ancient corridor that traced the East African Rift System, connecting early pastoralist groups from Ethiopia down to southern Kenya and Tanzania. Rock art panels and stone tools discovered along the route indicate regular movement of cattle, goats, and millet between highland and lowland communities. The volcanic soils of the rift provided fertile grazing grounds, while the valleys offered natural pathways avoiding dense forests. Some genetic studies suggest this route facilitated the spread of Afroasiatic languages and pastoralist culture around 5,000 years ago. Though precise waypoints are still under investigation, the corridor's existence underscores the role of geography in shaping early socio-economic networks across Africa.
Australian Aboriginal Songline highways, vast oral maps encoded in songs that guided indigenous peoples across the continent for tens of thousands of years. Each songline traced a route linking sacred sites, waterholes, and seasonal food sources, allowing travelers to navigate deserts, forests, and coastlines without written directions. By singing the verses, custodians could recall distances, landmarks, and ceremonial knowledge. Anthropologists have documented songlines stretching from Arnhem Land in the north to the central deserts and down to the Great Barrier Reef. While the exact lengths are immeasurable, the system is believed to have enabled trade of ochre, tools, and stories between distant language groups. These intangible highways illustrate a sophisticated, non-material method of long-distance connectivity that predates any constructed road.
We've traced the silent stone of the Amber Route, the dusty dunes of the trans-Saharan tracks, the river-linked corridors of the Nile, and the invisible songlines that guided hunters across Australia. Each pathway shows how early peoples solved the same problem, moving ideas, objects, and people across vast distances without engines or maps. If you enjoyed this glimpse into humanity's first highways, hit like and subscribe so you won't miss the next mind-blowing list we publish each week. Which ancient route fascinated you most? Let me know in the comments below.